Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening.
All right. So, hi, my name is Sidra, and I'm one of the trainers from English Yaari. I've been working as a language trainer since a year here on the platform. Firstly, before diving into the session, how are you doing? How's everything at your end?
Yeah, everything going good. I am very good, and thank you for asking. And how about you?
Yeah, I'm also doing exceptionally well. So that's also good by me, by many. And if you don't mind, can you please introduce yourself so that we can get a bit acquainted and we can have a few information about each one of us?
Yes, ma'am. So my name is Vashpal, and I live in Guwahati in the state of Assam. I am a retired government servant. I am very much interested in learning spoken English, and that's why I have been taking sessions with many tutors on various platforms. And for learning this language, particularly the speaking part, I also watch YouTube videos with English contents, read books, and if I talk about my hobbies, I like to travel. I like to watch cricket matches. So this is all about me, ma'am.
That's amazing. Sorry. So I'm a bit intrigued by the fact you mentioned you like reading books and watching cricket. I'm also fond, like really fond of both cricket and reading books. As an avid reader myself, I'm quite intrigued and eager to know what kind of books you have read so far. If you would love to recommend based on some hypothesis.
Okay, so here I just want to correct a little bit that I am not an avid reader, but I was told by many tutors to read book just to improve my English skill, spoken English skill. That's why. So I started reading books, and I like to read books. The genre is self-help books. So
Oh,
I read many self-help books. Yes.
so one of which is your favorite, you would like to talk about it? Any book that you have read and that has blown your mind and you are sticking to the points mentioned in that book?
Yeah, if I have to mention, I can easily mention about the book like Atomic Habits. So there are
Mhm.
many things said in that book, like how to develop one good habit, and at the same time how you can discard some bad habits that you have. So that's
Mm,
how I like the book, and I try to follow the rules, and I got benefit also.
amazing. That's wonderful. So, we have an amazing topic for today's session, which is beauty lies. So, the enigma holds in itself. That's a very eccentric topic for each one of us, and we still, till this time, are not able to understand what actually is beauty. So, when we say the statement, beauty lies in the eyes of beholder, how would you describe the understanding behind the statement? What do you understand by this? It's actually in the eyes of beholder, or we can all admire a person at the point at one point of time.
Yeah, it does happen because beauty, when we talk about beauty, it is a subjective thing, and people opinion differ from with one another.
Correct.
So that's how, like, if something we can tell that it's beautiful, but for others it may not be, because their perception may be different from mine. And that's why say that beauty lies in the eyes of beholder. So how we look at it and what we perceive from seeing the object or a person, that's what makes our perception, I think.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else you would like to add up over here?
I think like say beautiful when some people may see at the instantly at the sight of something that it's so beautiful, but some may take some time to describe it beautiful. They look all the things, all the
Mhm.
attributes there, then they may say, oh, it's so beautiful. And like people, so we say beautiful, so what is beautiful? It looks he or she looks beautiful, the
Correct.
look. So okay, but when actually we feel that somebody is beautiful, I think it should not be the looks only, it should be the inner beauty. Looks is
Correct.
something that God gifted. We cannot make ourselves, I mean, we everybody is born with some kind of look for which they have no control. but they can make their personality beautiful with their behavior, with their skill. So when we see the get to know the inner beauty of someone, I think that
Mhm.
will be the actual beautiful when we describe someone.
Okay, all right. So there's a term which is very much prevalent in today's time and on internet as well, which is looks maxing. So if someone is very underconfident and they don't think that they are really good looking, or even if they're good looking, they are not really confident to present themselves in front of people. So that there's a technique called looks maxing where you can develop certain features. You can make your clothing style better. You can have your way of talking in a different way. You can change your intonation, voice modulation. So that's all is a part of looks maxing. So what do you think? To what extent it's correct, or is it similar to the cookie cutter standard of the society where you have to mold yourself in certain norms, like a beautiful person should have a nose like this, should have eyebrows like that. So there are multiple standards, beauty standards that prevail in the society since the longest time. So what do you think? Do you feel is there any difference between both of the things, or when you just present yourself, try to improve your personality, that gives you an edge over other people?
Yeah, it matters actually when you go somewhere and the people and you present yourself, and if they don't accept, so it hurts sometimes. But as long as I am confident that whatever I have the skill, I have the other attributes that I can impress others with my skill, etc. So as far as I am confident, I don't bother about what others say, and feel that yeah, what I am required to do, I have that quality, so I am
Mhm.
satisfied, so I don't mind about others opinion.
So it's all about acceptance. If you accept yourself, then you can easily navigate through this world. Understanding whatever is prevailing in the society, you can overcome all that obstacle and hurdles.
Yeah, yeah, I cannot control over others opinion,
Mhm.
so I cannot make myself change according to their opinion. But if I feel that whatever I'm doing is good and I am presenting, or I am behaving in that manner, or you see, one person may be handsome or beautiful like that, but
Mhm.
when it comes to his behavior, he may be very rude. So there, the beautiful, when we describe someone, is not going to be right, I think. So sometimes it so happen that some person who are very rich and they behave rudely to with the poor people. So this again hurts actually. So when we describe someone, I think it is not right to describe that person a beautiful one or handsome one.
Like you mentioned, that beauty is subjective in its own, so everybody can have different perspectives so as to describe each other, right?
Yes.
All right. So I just want to take up one more question, which is how do you in yourself react or feel when someone shames another person based on beauty? Yeah.
I feel really bad actually because we should not, particularly, we will find that people do body shaming. So somebody is very obese or somebody is very thin. So we pass comments. So I don't like that. And if I happen to see not everybody, but who are my close friends or relatives or my family members, if I happen to see them doing that, I always say them not to do that.
Okay. So it's all about beauty is not like one size fits all, like Cinderella. So everyone is unique their own way, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yes.
There are some arbitrary standards in the society. That everyone actually aligns by, but with time thoughts and opinions are changing, and now in industry as well, that actually is a testament of beauty everywhere. We see different sorts of actor getting fame and recognition among audience. Pankaj Tripathi, for example, or we can say Nawazuddin Siddiqui, and there are many other actors like these to be named them. So, do you think that it's also scope for people over there?
Yes, yes. When we look those actors, particularly, I would like to mention another actor. I just forgot the name. Rajkumar
Mhm.
Rao, I think his name.
Yeah, yeah, Rajkumar
So
Rao.
if you see as an actor, he is a very good actor. But if you
Yes.
compare with him with other actors like who are very handsome, like have a very
Mhm.
fit body like that, he does not have that kind of body. But with his acting, he creates an impression, and we like, and we immediate
Absolutely.
and his acting. So it's like,
Yeah, he
oh,
has
what
won
a
our hearts
beauty!
with
Yes.
amazing roles. Yes,
So he does
yes.
not have that kind of body, but we like. So that's what make difference. Even though you have a impressive body, but you don't act, you don't have the acting skill in film
Mhm.
industry. So you are going to miss the acceptance of the people.
All right. So far we had this communication. You obviously had have amazing command over the language. There are few things that I would want to mention. That conclusion is something that we are lacking at. We are
Hmm.
not concluding in the end. That's something actually is making me ask you this question. Do you want to add up any point? So conclusion is something that some will give the other person idea that you have already finished, and then they can start over. That's something very minor. I think we can just try including conclusion in our expressions. Actually, it's also give the gist of our ideas. All in all, I believe that is it, that you can say in a gist or in a nutshell if I have to conclude. So these are some of the ending statements you can mention. Actually talks about the ending of your speech or expression or any point that you're adding in a group discussion. That would be wonderful. And apart from this, I would also like to mention intonation. So intonation, voice modulation will help other people to understand or and to segregate one sentence from another. They will understand based on your pauses and based on your short pauses, whichever you want to take on a comma, full stop. Perhaps teachers or tutors loved suggesting reading because with that you understand voice modulation, where you can emphasize more, emphasize less, and there are commas and full stops so that you can take a smaller pause on a comma, longer pause on full stop. So there's always a segregation between sentences, and people will be able to mirror the conversations, and they will be like parallelly aligning with whatever you are saying. So I think that's something we can work on. Apparently it's going good. There are very slight grammatical errors in terms of prepositions that some or the other time we missed words like but, for, but it's good. Apparently we just need to polish these few things, and according to me it's well and fine.
Yes, ma'am. You have rightly mentioned one thing that the conclusion part. Yes, it is not the first time that I have heard from the tutor that I need to develop on the front. So how to acquire this one? That whenever I speak to someone, yes, I live at somewhere that make the other person wonder whether it is he has finished or not. Yeah, it actually happens with me. So how to develop this one?
I would say whenever you are anticipating any answer to the question, just try dividing it into three parts, which is introduction, body, and conclusion. Conclusion is all about just adding one line in the end, giving the essence to the person who is listening to you that you have already finished. In the end, I would like to conclude by saying, for example, we are talking about beauty. So, in the end, I would like to summarize or something like that to encapsulate all the points. So, these are some of the starters that you can have in your mind to conclude. So, conclusion is all about just one line. So that other person also understand that you have incorporated everything in just one point, and this is the main essence. So it's like one line. End up giving examples in the body parts, as I mentioned. Like first is the introduction, where we introduce the topic. What is it according to our perspective? Then we give some examples based on our unique experiences or any statistics or anything that we believe. And lastly, the conclusion. If we'll try to go by this, our answers will become streamlined. And I think this is going to be an approach to answer the questions. That's the only thing you can try. I mean, according to me. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
All right. So I am just meaning to try some vocabulary and idioms related to the topic that we discussed.
Yes.
So be comfortable in one's own skin. We generally talk about it when we use beauty around us. So, what does it mean according to you? And if you can perhaps frame a sentence out of it
What is that one? Be comfortable.
in one's own skin. I'll also drop it in the chat box so that you can have a clear reading around it. Yeah, be comfortable in one's own skin, meaning being confident in whatever you are.
Okay. So whatever I do in my life, I always do it while I make uh, my. Sorry, I could
No
not frame it.
problem. Yes, so the here the usage is topic centric only. So once you learn to be comfortable in your own skin, you will realize how powerful self love is. So it's equal to or it's tantamount to self love. The term being the statement be comfortable in one's own skin. So you can use it as a statement. That's what I'm saying, that everyone should be comfortable in their own skin, meaning they should be confident and content about who they are rather than anticipating or rather than imagining some hypothetical situation that I may look like this person. You should be comfortable in your own skin. So this is a statement in itself. For example, don't judge a book by its cover. As this is a statement, this is also like is like a statement.
Okay.
uh, yes. We say radiate positivity, someone who exude happiness and good vibes.
So when I what was the word? Oh, acute positivity.
Exude, yeah,
Yeah.
exude.
Okay. So when I meet my friend Ram, I always feel that he always exude positivity,
Yeah, or radiate positivity. Radiate
radiate
means that something is
radiate
coming up.
positivity. Yes.
Correct. We also say something related to beauty, which is skin deep. Something that is superficial or not lasting is something that is external. So you may hear people saying the statement that outer beauty is skin deep, but a kind heart and a genuine smile can win the world over. So this is how you can use this statement in this way, that I believe true beauty goes beyond skin, focusing more on qualities like kindness, empathy, and authenticity. So beauty is just skin deep. So this is a statement again itself, a phrase that says that it is superficial.
Okay.
All right. Any question, anything that's coming into your mind and you would want me to address?
Okay. So I am concerned about two words which I find it difficult to pronounce. Sorry.
Mhm.
So one is that I just want to know whether I am pronouncing it right. So the word is overwhelm. So how to pronounce it?
Overwhelmed.
Overwhelm is. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yeah, so anytime when you think you are pronouncing it right, but there's a lack of clarity. I
Okay.
mean, so you can just simply go ahead, like break the word into multiple parts wherever you
Hmm.
feel that you are not able to pronounce it.
Hmm.
Overwhelmed. So just break it first into multiple parts and then join it. And when you're breaking it, read it like 5 to 6 times. I think then that's when you'll be good to go with the pronunciation of any word.
Okay. So I am not using that ed. I just without ed. Overwhelm. Overwhelm. Is it right?
Overwhelm. Yeah, that's also is correct.
Okay. And next one is whirlwind. WHIRLWIND.
Yeah, wind. Wind you are saying, right?
No, no.
Whirlwind.
Whirlwind. Whirlwind. W
Can
H
you type
I.
it in the chat box if it's okay?
I am telling you.
Whirlwind.
Yeah, yeah. WHIRL
Mm-hmm.
WIND.
Yeah, it's a whirlwind.
World. When I find it difficult to pronounce, I am trying. I've been trying for long.
So first there is L in the end. So we will be
Yeah.
saying whirl, then wind.
Okay. Whirlwind. Hmm.
Hmm.
Like people say, na, it was a whirlwind tour, like that, very hectic one, like that.
Yeah, yeah. So there can be multiple meaning for this word. For example, the whirlwind is a very tornado kind of wind as
Yes,
well. When
yes.
a wind revolves, so that
This
is
is the
whirlwind.
literal one. Yeah,
Yeah, and something that involves many quickly changing events and feelings. So, for example, you can say that my life has been a whirlwind lately. So things are
yes,
changing rapidly. That's when you can also use this term. So this is whirlwind of emotion that you are witnessing multiple emotions in a short span of time
yeah.
at
Thank you.
once. Yeah, so I think, this is how, if when you will break that word into multiple parts, you will be able to understand the pronunciation and just focus on the syllable. Whenever you will type any word and search it on Google, below it, they will show the syllable where you have to put more stress on. For example, we end up always saying mischievous, but that's not the pronunciation. Mischievous, that's the pronunciation of this word according to
Yes,
the syllables. So when we focus on the syllables, that's when we'll understand better where we have to put stress on and what words we have to use while we are pronouncing that specific word.
yes, yes. Mischievous. Yes, right.
All right. So here are some words as well. I would say for the topic centric vocabulary so that you can more deeply and in a more elaborative way talk about this topic, which is related to beauty. I would leave it to you to go through it in your free time. And it's
Okay.
always good. I just also, apparently, apart from this, want to understand what is your reading approach? Uh, how do you read so as to enhance your existing skills?
Okay, first of all, I read between the lines and I always look for the new word. And if there is any new word, so I immediately go and Google it and find the word and try to make a sentence also. First,
Correct.
I see the meaning, then a pronunciation, and try to make sentences.
Mhm.
And sometimes I read loudly also, just to make the
Yeah.
pronunciation right.
So I would like
But
to highly recommend to always read loudly for like 4 to 5 minutes. That
yes,
something is going to improve your lexical resources and your delivery will become better whenever you are talking to people. And you will be able to focus more on where to take pauses and how you can just put emphasis. For example, you're talking about your years of experience. So I have around 10 years of experience in this field. This is how you can stress on certain words so that people can just take notice of. So when you will practice this in reading, you will come across multiple instances where you can understand that this is where you can put more stress on so that there can be better understanding and the speech delivery is better. So I would highly recommend just to read every day for 4 to 5 minutes loudly and follow this approach. I would also recommend this one thing, that if you're coming across some words, just write them somewhere where you can always revisit them so that you can try using them in your communication. And try seeing multiple contexts, try making multiple contexts. So if you're following a book, just read that one page, and after you're done reading that one page, this is purely my recommendation.
yes,
I am saying, so when you are done reading that page, imagine there's a hypothetical person in front of you and you have to explain that paragraph to that person, or the whole page. That way, your ideas will expand and you will feel more comfortable to express your ideas in front of people. Your conversation will flow. This approach will be more convincing. You'll be able to explain your ideas better. And in that meantime, you can always open a recorder and for 1 minute record the part you have read. You will understand that how much information you are able to retain. And with this, you will be able to read less and understand more. I always say that reading more and understanding less doesn't really help us, but reading less and understanding more will give us a lot of content to speak about and share our opinion with people. You can try it if that's something is making sense to you.
yeah, yeah. This is a very good advice, and I should follow. And I think I will be able to develop on this one. Yes.
All right, so I think we have a hard stop over here. It was great interacting with you, and thank you for joining.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. It was a nice conversation. Thank you.
Thank you.